and welcome back to another episode of
And on that note,
that was fun.
So, I was just wondering, like, guys, do you feel like the traditional 9 to 5 is basically dead? Because more and more, social media is becoming like the way in which we kind of can monetize like us as people. Like, and ultimately before it used to be like, oh, I'm paid based on my skill set, my education, my intellect, all these things, your value was always traded on some of those things, your education, etc., etc. But more and more, people are being able to leverage their selves, their personalities, etc., etc., because of social media. And social media has meant that, you can just market yourself essentially. And so I guess my first question was to you was like, can you survive in this day and age without a social media account?
Yes.
Give me an example.
Why not?
So
Well,
could you
survive today without a social media
could
account?
you?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Thank you.
So
Yeah.
for example, like I think we're all on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
So
By
we,
force.
for example, we use it for this. Like use it to kind of, do you think we could successfully kind of promote our podcast and kind of share it with people without social media?
Yeah, just go back to the old-fashioned way of sending messages.
Well, on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
WhatsApp's a social media platform.
Text. Put in the hyperlink. Bing.
Okay, fair enough.
And then just...
Got a message.
Yeah. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Message.
So I'm on the opposite side from you. I think we need to pull it again in context, and we need to think about the times that we're living in. If you're promoting something, you do need some element of social media because this is the time that we're living in. So we're moving a lot more away from print and all these kinds of things, and we are doing things online because it's easily accessible and we can reach a mass audience. So that makes sense. I do think people can still live on a 9 to 5. I still think people can definitely live on a 9 to 5, but are you living or are you surviving? That's how I kind of look at it. Are you just living paycheck to paycheck? Is there any, are you happy in that? Is it fulfilling for you? That's how I kind of look at it. So I think there's definitely scope to live on a 9 to 5, and it all depends on your salary. If you're earning 20,000, of course you feel like you're suffering inside. If you're earning,
some people are happy.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But depending on what age you are as well, exactly. Again, pull it in context. So when I was 17 and when I was probably earning like 15 or 18,000, I thought, bruv, I am rich.
Paid.
Innit? Like, bruv, like I'm in college and I have got money, £600 in my account.
Can you imagine?
That's not from EMA. So I was just like, bruv, I am rich. Like, what the flipping heck? So that was my mentality. Do you understand?
Did you get EMA?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I never got EMA.
Dead.
Why?
Oh, she
Nah,
did.
man.
2 parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we're just like, no. So that's not even EMA money or anything like that. But I feel like now, I think social media is important. We need it today because that's the way things are going forward. And people are using social media. Like I said, it's easily accessible, mass audience, etc. But I think you can live on a 9 to 5. I just feel like, is it fulfilling for you? Because everybody usually wants to do something else. So people usually have a dream or hobby, or something that they would like to make their everyday thing. So you don't feel like you're working. That's how I look at it.
Yeah. I think there always has to be balance in the world. Like some people, they just love being in their 9 to 5. They love structure, they love a team, all that stuff. But some people are just made to have their own businesses and be entrepreneurial. I just think that's just how it is.
So for you guys, like, back to basics. What do you think is what does an influencer mean to you? If I said, the word influencer, what does it mean?
Okay. I'm not going to define what I think the word means. However, I'm going to refer to someone who has influence. Like, what's that? Instagrams. I look at her posts and I think, I need to visit that hotel. I need to go to that country, especially because, like, I like to travel. She sells these holidays to me. So for me, I would say she has some sort of influence over where I would desire to go to later on in life. But what is an influencer? I don't know, someone that can trigger or stir up like, oh, I want to do this or I want to buy that. I want to visit there. Something like that, I guess.
True.
Are you doing Googles? What's an
No, I'm not.
influencer?
No,
joking,
I was looking at my emails.
The reason I asked that question was because you're looking at your emails.
It was because you're looking at
There's an influencer in there.
The reason I asked that question is
Instagrams.
because I genuinely believe, like, call me crazy, that we're all influencers.
As in
I receive
everyone, or are you saying
Hallelujah.
Everyone is an influencer, whether you're a good influencer or a bad influencer
Yeah.
is a different case. But you're an influencer, and I just feel like for me, the reason why I said is the 9 to 5 debt is because I think more and more we're gonna be forced to kind of almost demonstrate our influence. So even now at work, like Georgina, you correct me if I'm wrong. The reason why somebody may ask you to work on a certain project, lead a certain team, handle a certain piece of work, or just do what you're doing right now is because they feel that you have the influence in addition to the capability, the insight, the education, etc., to kind of get the work done. But ultimately, you have to be able to influence or lead
your
others.
team?
Yeah.
And so I think in a work environment, we don't call it influencer. You know, you call it a manager or somebody or lead, so such and such lead. But that's what you want the person to do, to bring everybody on board to do what to do.
To get them to buy
And I
into
just
it.
feel like nowadays, you know, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but like in some of the processes I've seen, they always check people's social media to get an understanding of how they influence. And that's why I say that, because I just feel like everyone's an influencer.
Yeah.
And even now, like on my social media, I don't do anything with my social media. Like it's literally there one picture every quarter. Like it's literally there.
You and me both.
But every so often, you know, I might tag the dress. Oh, this
Yeah.
is from such and such a place. And it's like, why do we do that? Do you know what I mean? Why tag your clothes?
because someone might want to know.
So you want to be an
You can
influencer.
influence someone.
Exactly. And that's why I say we're all influencers.
Yeah,
It's just that your circle might be super small. It's true.
No, but yeah, I get you.
it's true.
So,
But then that's why you hashtag the heck out of all your pictures.
Exactly.
100 hashtags. Okay, must reach here.
Let's go there.
so how do you feel about like likes?
What about them?
Do you care whether you get
I
likes? Some
actually
people think
don't
it
care,
affects
you
Guys,
know.
remember we did say
And-
we're going to bring you social media part 2. This is it.
Oh, is
This is it.
Look at that.
Yeah, no, when it comes to likes, I actually don't care, you know. And the proof is my actual page, because sometimes I might have a picture and there'll be like 10 likes, and then I'll have another picture and there'll be like 60 likes, and then another picture and there'll be like 5 likes. I really don't care. I actually post because I like what's happening in my life at that particular moment. And I actually do want to share it with people who actually are interested in what's going on in my life, and actually people that I'm interested in their lives too, because I'm also round nosing. I'm also looking like so yeah, I don't really care about likes.
I don't think it phases me that much. I think maybe in the past, like when I had my old Instagram, I used to think if this picture does not hit that 50 in 5 minutes, delete. I'm uploading it again.
Seriously?
Yeah. Before I used to think,
But wait,
Even
why?
if it's a nice picture.
yeah, because I want everyone to acknowledge that it's a bloody nice picture. Hit the like button.
But now
then I got
Instagram
to
tells
the
you
never
that
point-
people have
deleted any
uploaded
of
the
my
pictures
pictures.
long, man.
But then
What?
I
Sorry?
just thought, now she said now Instagram tells you once people have uploaded pictures, but I think they only do that when you haven't uploaded in a while.
For a long
Wow.
time.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
is it?
then
Probably
I
the
just
likes
got
of
to a
me.
point where I thought, do you know what? Like, I'm one of them people that's look at a picture, it's nice, and I'm not hitting the like button. I'm scrolling past it. 'Cause
Why?
I'm always like, no, I'm just
Why?
like, no, this was before.
Oh, okay.
I'd be like, oh, I'll come back and like it, and then I never do. But now I like for fun, like.
I
Everyone's
like
getting
for
a
fun.
like today, like. So yeah, before I would have thought, nah, like it didn't hit that many likes. I'm gonna delete this picture and upload. But no, I don't give a damn.
I
One
care
like,
about
2
likes.
likes. Do you?
In a weird way, it's not like I care. I don't know if it's the word to say is I care about likes.
That
But
might be because you hardly upload. So it's like when I do upload, you guys should notice that I'm uploading. Like the
maybe.
picture.
But it's one of those weird things where it's like, I'm not going.
Refreshing.
sitting there.
Yeah,
waiting for the
refresh.
likes.
But
Is
when
it
I
3
do,
more?
when I
know
do pick it
someone like
up
that, you know.
and I see the little the thing there with the like number of likes and some comments, I'm like, girl, say, tag it. Like I do. Like I'm not gonna lie.
So funny.
Or even if like I put up a story or something and then people are like exactly, oh yeah, that's, I'm like, so I think for me, I like the social aspect of social media
Yeah.
because I like the fact that, you know, people connect with me. And so, yeah, maybe while it may be only like, I don't know, for argument's sake, 20 likes or something like that, I'm not going to lie, if I leave the phone for a while and I'll be like, hey, I'm not going to check. And then I come back to that 20. I'm like, hey. So it's not so much the number.
amount.
It's the just seeing that.
The interactions.
Hello.
It's so funny.
That's funny.
No, but I do agree with you. I do like the social part of social media. I love talking to people on their pages and like just starting random conversations.
Do you know what I do?
'Cause it's so fun.
Do you ever do this thing where either you watch a video or you see a picture and you think something about it, so you have an opinion, and then you search through the comments,
to
see
see
if anyone else
is thinking the same thing.
Talking about this.
I literally be like, and then when I see it, I'm like,
Sometimes
I like it. Sometimes
I like the
And then I might even reply to the comment. I'm just like, yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
I like.
literally in my
Because
brain.
sometimes I'm like, I'm not gonna write it.
But
Let me wait. I'm sure
God.
somebody has written it somewhere. You go
So let me
to
go.
comment 124 and then you're like,
And then I feel satisfied. I'm like, I can move on.
Oh gosh.
That
So
is
we are all doing
That
it. We are all
is so
doing
funny.
it.
Yeah,
That's so
we're all
funny.
doing
But
it.
it's funny because you don't realize like how much, even like little things like shows. Like when I watched the show on our favorite website, Don't Want to Get Him Taken Down,
I'm back.
I like to see the comments because again, I want to see
Oh,
what people
those-
think.
Those comments are wild.
So I don't use Twitter, right? But I do like to every so often go on Twitter to see what people are saying about
Because
certain
those are friends,
programs.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, oh, what's that? They'll look, find the hashtag and I'll be like, okay, what people are saying. And it's actually a really good way to just get a sense of, you know, what
The
the
gist,
feeling
yeah.
about stuff is.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Before I never used to get Twitter. When people be like, such and such is trending. I'd be like,
What's
What?
trending?
What is that one?
What is trending?
What is trending?
But now I get it because it does give you a good sense of what's being talked about.
There and
Yeah.
then.
That-
in that moment.
in that moment. And you're just like, I want to join the conversation.
Yeah.
Hashtag. I never do that, but obviously I get why someone would do that.
I still don't even know how to use Twitter.
No,
I only
I don't
read
really.
things on it.
I used to
don't
know how to
really
use Twitter.
use
I
it.
locked my account down ages ago.
Yeah, I don't really know.
I don't know.
Tweet, tweet.
Who's tweeting? Danielle is tweeting.
Yeah.
Do you
For
tweet
us.
still?
I don't check on my personal page,
Oh, okay.
but yeah, on our page.
I used to just always find Twitter weird because I used to be like, okay, I have a thought, and then what? I just share my thought.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
then people respond
Yeah.
back to your thoughts.
Yeah,
They
I think
bounce
that's
back.
it.
fun.
They do.
And then we retweet
Suppose
it.
my
Yeah.
my
Like it.
tweet is my
That's when I used
my
to get
thought is
happy when
wild.
people used to retweet. And
Yeah.
I see how many people
How many people
retweet my
retweet,
tweets.
yeah.
I'm like, yes. People are popular on Twitter.
People retweeted me.
So I was gonna flip the script slightly, right? So, like we said, you know, I think the world we live in, let's call it 10 years or so, it'll be a very different world in terms of social media. I think social media will rule everything. I think, you know, most of us have like a Gmail account, which ultimately means whether you will use it or not, we have like a YouTube account, for example. So you have the ability to share anything. Content, exactly. But like one of my work colleagues, right? She was talking about her children. They're literally in primary school. So I think one of them's like 6 and the other one's like 9 for argument's sake, a boy and a girl. And she was literally telling me how they make videos and they put them on YouTube.
6 and 9.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they have their own accounts. They all have phones.
They have phones.
Yeah,
6 years
they have.
So they do it themselves.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's supervising them.
I'm
right?
guessing she's supervising because she knows that they have it and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Okay.
But they make their own. And I'm just realizing like, okay, give it 10
Wow.
years or so.
So they're editing their own videos. Like I'm taking this
Yeah.
in.
Oh, there's that
Wow.
thing called TikTok.
Oh, yeah. Is that
yeah.
what they're doing?
I don't know
Okay,
if
yeah.
they're
My
doing
godson
that.
does
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if they're doing that, but
Yeah.
loads
My
of young
godson
people
has
have
that.
TikTok.
I heard
Yeah.
it about it the first time the
My
other
brothers
day.
do that.
Oh, is it?
But I heard it in a bad light, actually.
So what I was
Really?
going to say
Doesn't
was
have the
like,
No,
is
my
there an
colleagues
age
told
where
me.
it's like age appropriate to be on social media?
I think so.
When?
I think there's an age appropriate. As in to handle your own
Yeah, to
account.
handle your
a
own
child
account.
handle their own account.
Yeah, or even your parents handle it for you. But because
So I'm gonna have like 2 different views on this because obviously everyone knows Keeks has her own Instagram page, which her parents control.
Mhm.
So we control the type of pictures that go on her Instagram page. That's fine. However, I've got my own YouTube channel. Would I create a YouTube channel for her right now? No. Will I do it in the future? Possibly. Why? Because there's money to be made. The richest YouTuber right now is a child. Ryan, he's maybe 10.
is that the one
guy
that does
plays with
toys?
toys.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
reviews toys. He's got his own show on Nickelodeon or something
No way.
like that. Yeah, he's got his own show.
So they're even more
So-
money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So if
Yeah.
these resources are out there for us, then why not try and like use it?
Mm.
But for me to have her at 6 or 9 or whatever, doing her own videos, I think that's a bit too much. I need to control what she's putting out there. I'm sure the parent does.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will probably say when that's good to go. I don't think I'd have her on YouTube that early. Like even when I show her on my channel, I'm just like, okay, that's enough. Like
that's enough.
sometimes I've noticed there's some pictures that I'll post on my Instagram page. You know, Instagram tells you now if someone saved or forwarded your picture.
No way.
Yes, and that really creeps me out.
Someone done that
I
to
don't
the
know
funny.
who
I don't know.
does
It tells you.
And I blocked.
So that's why I haven't really
Really?
been putting her up on my page as much, and that's why I've like.
So wait.
Yeah, it's really grosses me out.
Can we be clear on what they tells you so I can stop doing it, please?
But you can't, it doesn't tell you
you have
who
to block
does it.
them.
It doesn't tell you who
No
does it.
way.
It doesn't tell you who does
It just says this picture has been forwarded however many times, and this picture has been saved however many times.
No.
For me, if you're saving a picture of me because I'm in this location or I'm in that restaurant or I'm wearing this
that's
outfit,
different.
I get it, whatever. But not a picture of my child in it. That really,
That's freaky.
and when I see what people do, I don't know if you guys have seen, I can't remember her page. I think her name is Tosin something, and she's got a son and a daughter.
Yes.
And her daughter's ginger.
That was recent, actually.
Oh,
No.
and they
and they said that this child is like homeless or something, like, or
in
lost.
hospital or something.
And they put the sign and used the
in
daughter's
America, you
picture.
know.
Yeah, in a whole America.
Yeah.
So social media is very powerful, and I can't control what anyone does with my child's picture. So that's what kind of scares me about putting her out like that. So yeah, for me, it's too early. I'd wait till she's about in double figures. I don't know.
But then with having a Instagram page that you have for her, isn't that
but we
the
have it
same
as
thing?
private, so we can control whoever's following
it's
her.
private. Okay.
And if someone's saving her picture, then I know it's one of y'all. So that's fine. You the aunties and uncles. But yeah, for like even on my own page, I'm still very reluctant to put her up sometimes because I don't do it as often as
So
I
would you
used to.
say her Instagram page is just for family and friends? What is
That's
it for
how
them?
I've had to
What is
make
the
it
point?
now. Before it was just for exposure and like obviously you know she's got her modeling agency, so we tagged them and everything. But when I started to notice people saving the pictures, that really freaks me out.
That would freak
So I've
me
had
out.
to reevaluate what we're doing about her page. I might still make it open one day when I get over what's happening now, but yeah, I just think you just have to be very sensible.
I think I don't because I already followed her page. I didn't realize it was private.
No, yeah. So you just have to be very sensible with what.
Yeah,
you're putting
I
out
think
there
when
as
I
well.
followed, it wasn't private at the time. When I followed, I was able to just follow.
Yeah, so it was open in the beginning, but now when I noticed, I was like, wait, hold on. People are forwarding my child's pictures and they're saying, I haven't tagged where her outfit's from. So what are you saving?
Yeah.
What are you forwarding? It's so scary. And I don't know if it's some miserable man in his little dark room.
That's disgusting.
Or,
Don't even say.
yeah, you just don't know. So I'm just like, nah, let
Yeah.
me just reel it back in a little bit.
I mean, I was talking to my friend about this the other day, but in a different context because she's a freelancer. She's a creative, so she has her own business. She is her own business, and for her, like, even when you're producing work and it's on social media, it's kind of like a catch-22. You kind of have to be out there to get somewhere, but you don't want anyone to also now plagiarize your work or copy it at the same time.
Copyright.
And that also happens. Even if you have a copyright, most of the time it's all international disputes. It could be someone halfway across the world, but because you need to get work and you need to get out there, social media is kind of the quickest way to do that these days. Yeah, it's like, what do you do? Like, at the end of the day, where do you like draw a line kind of thing? Do you stop yourself making money because, you know, you're too fearful to put your work out there because someone's going to nick it? Or like, what do you do? So
Okay. So based on what you said and just using what Danielle said as well, if you guys have created Instagram accounts for your kids, what is the end goal of it? Why? Why do they need their own account?
Why they need that?
Yeah.
For me, I did Asha's account for her modeling career, for her own career. That's why I did her account, but not just for like random things, but literally that's just why I did it.
Yeah.
Because I'm pursuing that for her. But yeah, it's something we've spoken about as a married couple and decided it's okay and it's safe, and we're figuring out the whole private thing now.
So do you monitor like if her pictures are getting
time.
forwarded?
Yeah.
Okay.
I monitor all the time.
So that's why
And I've
I
got alerts
say
and everything.
it's almost like you guys recognize that the 9 to 5, I wouldn't say it's dead, but it's not
It's
the
gonna
only
fizzle out
path.
eventually.
100%. I don't think it's the only path and the only stream of income you should have, the only solid stream of income you should have. And I think the earlier we encourage our kids to be entrepreneurs, it might not be through social media, it might be other ventures. the better off they'll be in the long run. Not necessarily us, but they will be, and their kids and their kids. I think it's a trickle down effect. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
So, like in that same realm, are you? This is to all of us, me included. Do we see there's value in growing our own personal social media profiles?
It's a hard one.
Yes, for me, because I'm on YouTube and like obviously, for me, this is fun. It's my hobby to travel, to go out to eat, whatever. Some people use their social media to look good, show off their outfits, you know. But yeah, we travel. I'm putting it out on YouTube. I need people to go watch that video, go hit that like. So I'm going to put it on my YouTube. I mean, on my Instagram. I'm going to put it on my Snapchat. And I'm going to put it on my WhatsApp. You guys better forward yourself to YouTube. So yeah, it's a yes for me, for my own personal page. For Kiki's page,
still figuring it out.
Yeah. That really traumatized me. But yeah, in the beginning, that would have been it. Like, yeah, she signed. Like, we need to post her pictures. She travels. I want people to know she travels, like to see she travels.
Hence the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, in the beginning, that's what it was. But now I'm just trying to figure it out.
Do you feel that there's benefit in growing your own personal social media profile?
I think it depends what you're doing, to be honest. Like for me, social media does not come natural at all. So whenever I do anything social media related, I feel like I'm doing it out of obligation because I have to do it, not because I want to do it. So everything is by force, and I'm like, ooh, let me just post something again every 4 months. I don't want to take. Like, I take pictures, and I have many pictures. But do I want to share it? No.
Same.
I don't want to share it. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't
Yeah.
want to share it.
Yeah.
But I share it because I feel like, I've got to do it for the culture.
Yeah.
And, and for the group and whatnot and blah, blah, blah. So I do it for all these things. But funny enough, whenever I do post my pictures, they do not get anything but less than 50 likes. I have noticed that. So I do monitor those likes.
So you like the likes? You like the likes?
She likes
Yeah. But I don't but I'm not posting all the time.
No,
This
yeah,
is the
that's
thing. I don't
why
post
I
all the
say
time.
it.
Yeah.
But I
I don't
literally
post
know
that
when I
often.
posted, my posts have gone to like over 124 and not
Yeah.
counting.
That was awfully specific.
Okay, 126. I know. I think Nathaniel's one was. Anyway, I've had.
You got like
Considering
Do you know what I'm laughing?
Considering I don't have 450.
All these influencers are probably like only 100.
Shut up, because you bought 10,000 of those followers anyway.
Shots fired.
She said it. I said it. Bear palm tree.
I'm telling. But yeah, no. Yes, I don't know. Do you know what? It's not natural for me. And I do think eventually when I do launch my business, I think it will be more about, let me not be ignorant again to social media and its power. There would be an element of social media, but then I also think it will be through connections that I've made, and it will be through word of mouth. Social media will have a huge impact on it, but whether I will be the driving force behind that social media is another thing. Also, in terms of if I'm launching my own business, there's a different kind of passion that I will have for it. So my passion is not about launching myself. I don't want to be at the forefront.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I want you to
business.
see my work.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be me as my image and whatever I've got going on behind me.
the
So not my
products that
child,
you-
not my husband. It's not about that. It's the product.
I
That's what I
understand
would
you,
want to
George, but I'm
push.
going to
Business,
counter
yeah.
because from a marketing background, plug, I feel that one thing I do know is people buy from people, and that's
Yeah.
where social media for me is very pivotal, because what
It is.
people are ultimately going to do first is buy into you.
As a
Yeah.
person.
And they're
Yeah.
going to buy into you. And then because of your influence, they're going to say, well, they're going to be like, well, Georgina obviously has this business and I really like her. Let me go and have a look, etc., etc. Because let's be honest, for majority of businesses and products, they're a dime a dozen, unless of course it's something really unique, niche, or people have not heard of. So for me, I would always say to people, make sure people buy into you. People buy from people. That's what it comes down to.
100%.
So yes, your product is always going to be there and you push it, but it's so important to kind of
brand behind the
you
stuff.
now
Yeah.
because it's becoming saturated.
And I
Yeah.
agree with what you're saying, but then also I think at the same time people will know that there's an element of privacy towards me as well.
Yeah.
So I don't show everything about myself. I'm not constantly showing myself, and I think the people that will know me will be able to vouch for my behavior. And I feel like when people have had businesses for a long time and it hasn't necessarily been a success, I think that is a testament almost to how they are as characters, because people remember. People have images of you or they have thoughts of you. Do you understand? And so therefore, they might feel like, okay, yeah, your product is nice or your product is interesting and it probably is valuable, but I'm not going to buy into it because I know who you are, or I've heard about you as a person, as an individual. Right. So therefore, they don't want to support anything you do, whether it's nice or not. I don't care. Yeah. I'm not going to support into you. However, with me, I feel like when I do eventually launch my business, my personal page would probably be private at that point. My page is now open because of this platform. That's the only reason why. I was never interested about having followers. I was never bothered about those things, and I'm still not bothered about those things because I still got the 362, 3, 4, 5 people that will be alternating, following me, follow me, unfollow, bruv. If you don't want to follow me, don't follow me. But my thing is, I don't care about that. So I feel like eventually. And there's Google. So by the time I've got my business, people can Google me. Yeah. So they'll say that she's this, she's that, she's that. Then people will see about me. And I think at the end of the day, communication, people talk. Yeah. And it comes down, people will find out about who you are as a person just through word of mouth. Social media would work, but word of mouth.
It's true.
I think social media works.
Instagram
100%. But I
say that again.
I have more people Google me than Instagram me because I get Google notifications for Mazzini for the business. Seriously, it works.
But when I'm saying, I feel like people will be able to Google me at that stage when I feel like I've like kind of launched my business. But overall, I don't care about. I think people will buy into me, and they might people save posts. So when I've done something great, people might save the people that are in my thing might just save my post. I don't know, and say, oh look at what she done. But it's not on my business account when I eventually have one. Yeah. It's just on my personal one. I don't know. For me, it's not important, but then I might have a social media team to kind of handle all of that, and then they will tell me and then they will tell me this is what you should be doing, this is what you should be doing, because I don't care about those things, and that's the reality of it.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because you said,
word of mouth.
I don't necessarily need to engage. No, I don't necessarily need to put loads and loads of stuff. You said there's an element of privacy, and I absolutely agree with that.
On my personal page,
yes,
yeah.
But I also recognize that I think we've spoken about it as it pertains to this platform. You have to engage with people. So you don't necessarily need to put your life on Front Street for people to know who you are. It's literally things like just engaging with them when they do acknowledge your stuff. So when they, if whatever your business is, you've put it out there and they've said something, acknowledging that they've said something because it's that social 100%. Aspect.
Oh, yeah.
But interestingly enough.
But I do that. I would do that naturally.
Yeah. No, I was just kind of saying, just to iterate, you don't have to be like, I'm going to the shops and I'm doing this and I'm doing this to be social or kind of to bring people into or help people get to know you. It could be literally just your conversations with them online.
Yeah.
You said people Google you.
Yeah.
More than they
Instagram you.
Yeah. How do you know when someone's Instagram you?
Yeah, how do you do that?
What do you mean? How do I know when someone's Instagram?
Because your page is open. So someone can visit your profile on Instagram and leave. You don't know
the insights. George sometimes checks all the insights for our.
So you mean based on people?
So
you just look at page visits?
Yeah, I just look at page visits. So, but when I get my Google notification thing for the month, it tells me how many people have been visiting my website and how many people have gone through what different channels.
Yeah.
So.
That's interesting.
But don't
so what does that do? Google just sends that to you.
But we have a big mailing list.
Yeah.
That's not through Instagram. That's like emails and.
So do you email your customer base?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then that makes sense because you're actively driving traffic.
Yeah.
You're driving traffic to you.
Yeah.
That's different because that's, in my opinion, that's still marketing. Yeah. You're still doing. You're doing email marketing.
We do it every 6 months.
Yeah. You're doing email marketing at the end of the day. I'm talking about social media as just a pure channel because let's be honest, you could contact your followers in a similar way.
What, on Instagram?
Yeah, you could engage with them. Do you know what I mean? And you could say that's your
individually and stuff.
Yeah. That's interesting. I'd want to get to know a bit more about your Google optimization. But it's not. Anytime. No, it's so important though.
Yeah.
What are you Googling?
When you got business.
I'm gonna wait and see.
What are you doing?
I thought she was Googling herself to see
what are you doing, George?
No, so how do you get the notifications? Do they just pop up?
You do Google.
No, it's like a Google.
It's free.
It is free. It's a free service. When you have a website, I think
I don't have a website. Nobody can do that.
Set it up for me that way, through my website. So you get notifications that way.
That's interesting.
That's good.
George, would you do
I forgot what we were talking about.
I want to know, would you do an Instagram page for Nathaniel?
No. I wouldn't do an Instagram page for Nathaniel.
Why wouldn't you do
Ever?
that?
No. I wouldn't.
But you'd allow him to have his Instagram page if he wanted one.
At a
When he's
certain age.
older.
Yeah,
much
when he's older. Yeah. I feel like, to be fair, this is going to be hypocritical because I can be hypocritical. I'm a woman. I don't care. So anyway, but anyway, I was going to say, so I wouldn't give him do his own Instagram account because number one, I'm not trying to pursue a modeling career for him. Number one, and I feel like him being on my own page
on Instagram.
Yeah, I know that's not the only thing he can do on Instagram, but I feel like him being on my own page, I've already promoted him enough. And when I say promote him, I've already put him out there. I've already put him out there enough, and I don't know whether he would like that. I like to think. I always like to think about: is this for myself? And just because I think it's right, does it necessarily mean that one day Nathaniel will think it's right? Maybe not. Do you understand?
And
that's the way how I always think about things. I always think about things like who am I doing this for? Is this for me, for my glory, for my gratification? Be like, my child is cute, my child is handsome. What am I doing it for?
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I don't have the time.
Yeah.
I don't have the time to monitor this account. I literally don't have. I don't have.
Why would I have
time.
my child's?
I feel that's it. If I don't have time to monitor my own account, why would I monitor my child's account? Like I literally cannot. I cannot be asked. There's too many other things for me to be to be doing. But yeah, he might not like that. He might not want to be out there. And I feel like I've already exposed him because he's on my Instagram page. And so sometimes I do limit what I put up of him. I do like to share it, obviously. But I think for me to purposely go out of my way, make him take pictures, dress him up for certain things, be in certain locations, and there is an element of you staging it because you have to be like, I would have to take 20 pictures in order for me to get the right one that I'm going to eventually post. I might then even
have you not seen those pictures of the little toddlers with the handbags and the sunglasses and then the bandana,
or they're walking a certain way, or they're looking down. It's not natural for a child to do that. A child is a child. So if you're gonna have an Instagram page of a child, let them be themselves.
Yeah.
Because I know for sure if the child is just like, if you see the child just standing there looking up, that's, that child has been directed and you've probably taken 100 pictures to get that post. And then I don't want to ever get into the point of where I'm now starting to filter pictures of my child online. That's what I don't want to do. I don't want to filter pictures of my child. I don't want to be like, oh, actually, this hue is not good. Let me brighten it. Let me brighten it here. Or let me tint it here. Let me edit it there. I don't need to edit my child.
No,
I don't need to do anything like that.
Yeah.
If I take a picture of Nathaniel, I'm posting it just as it is.
Yeah.
Likewise, I would usually do that for my own pictures, and I wouldn't like edit it as much. I would never ever do that.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So, and that's where again I think that there's an issue with it. For me personally, I ain't got time, and I don't necessarily know if I'm doing it for myself or if it's actually going to benefit my child. It may benefit my child, and maybe I might be losing out on it. Who knows? I don't know, but I just don't think it's something that I need to do
for right now.
For you.
Interesting.
And plus, my husband's not on Instagram like that, so he's got an account, but he don't use it. So it's irrelevant
Michael's the
for
same.
us.
He's got an account. He's got like one picture for 10 years.
Yeah, I've seen that same picture of that skyline.
Well, to be fair, Michael
not
does
use
stories.
it.
Michael does
He
stories.
started now because he's like, I really like what you guys are doing.
does
He's only
stories.
just started reposting this stuff, like our
He does
podcast.
stories.
So I was like, that's nice.
I don't know what I would do if the time came. I think it's one of those things you don't know until
You're in it.
you're in it.
Yeah.
But do you guys feel like those parents that are like really like, because like you said, the stage pictures, they've got loads and loads of followers.
hurts me
There's the
so
kids
much.
that, does it?
Yeah, because I can just
It's
about
mad.
say, Fiona, stay there. Like, how do
Yeah.
you do it? Like,
don't even tell
let
her
a
to
child
stay
be a
still.
child. Like, just
Like,
let them be.
Do
Why
you, do you think
I've
they're
seen
not being
people
smart
filter
though?
lashes on their kids.
Do you
What?
think do you think they're being smart?
About what?
Like, as in business savvy?
No, because that's not a child. That's a big old woman in a child's body. Like, that's not you. She's got big hoop earrings. Especially when I
But
see
is
like
it,
a
but is
shirt.
it
I
about
don't
the
know,
image?
because
It's not for
for
me.
that
It's for
parent,
me.
I
It's
think it's
for
about
me.
the
I don't
image.
think it's about the image. I think it's the whole idea of doing it in the first place. What is the motive behind it? That's how I look at it. I don't even think about the image. So if you want to put lipstick on your child or curl their hair
That
or
is wild to
that's
me.
one thing. But I feel like what is the whole motive behind it? As Daphne was just saying. What were you saying? Sorry.
I was just saying, do you think they're being business savvy?
Yes,
Being business
exactly.
savvy.
And that's like what I said. That's why I said that.
They are, I guess.
I think there's a positive thing of it, But I just always think that I could potentially be missing out, and maybe I should have jumped on this bandwagon when everybody was making Instagram accounts for their kids because they've saved the name handle or they've done all of these things. Maybe I might be missing out on it, but I'll cross that bridge when I get there. And I feel like what is meant to be will be.
Yeah.
But I just don't feel comfortable.
You said it's something that I didn't think of.
I just
Let me
don't
go
feel
and claim the
comfortable.
handle.
No, do you know?
I just don't feel
people that have done
comfortable.
that.
Should we
And they don't
make
even
her
have children
email
yet.
address? It wasn't even a handle for Instagram. It was just an email address for her in the future. But I mean, I'll be being
not
too
good.
excited. Like, I still think
Do you
about
know-
it sometimes though. But I'm saying,
But you know what? Yeah, this whole having children on some sort of platform is quite old because I only say that.
When you say it's quite old, what do you mean?
It's quite old because I only say that because they back in the day, take for instance like the Olsen twins. They started doing this like modeling, acting, dancing, singing, all that kind of stuff when they were babies. So it's just
But then
like
back then
they
you had a Z card. You wouldn't have social
exactly.
media.
They had cards, but don't forget that those cards still went out to everybody.
Yeah.
Because
it does.
you would have to go to agencies and you would have to go to, you can't just go to one and be like, yeah, they're signed. Nah, it's a whole hustle. And it's global. And America's like 52 states. So
I know,
but then was different because you're physically going to those
I hear
locations
what you're
and
saying.
giving out your cards.
100%.
Now
I
you're
hear
on a
what you're
platform
saying.
on the worldwide
Interwebs.
interwebs.
But listen, even still, there are still however many colleagues in each agency, in each state or in each town
And-
or whatever it is. And there are still people that you can say, okay, yeah, they come to work, they do their 9 to 5, but they could have nicked a card, put it on their wall and
It's
done
true,
what they had to do.
but you know
Like,
those people. Then
you know what I mean?
the likes of Olsen twins, people like Moesha or Brandy, all of those people that we listen to now, but grew up in that age, like in the early 90s. You always hear them now. We're so lucky that social media wasn't as how it is now.
Yeah.
Like
Because people
we're
are
so lucky
brutal.
because people
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
brutal, and we
People
probably wouldn't have survived the business. So they know that they've seen both sides of the coin. So it's not the case of, yes, their parents probably pushed them into it and pushed them into the limelight and whatnot.
Yeah.
But again, that exposure was limited. It was limited. So they like I said, they had to do the work. I feel like social media it's become too easy for us to kind of lay back and just put anything out there, and it gets anywhere.
So,
and
Annette, what were
everywhere.
you trying to say? Were you making a point around the fact that everyone has had access to these people, or were you saying that it's an age-old thing and it's nothing new?
No,
What were you trying to say?
That's it. That it's basically, it's been done before. Like we're not remaking the wheel. It's already been made, if you know what I mean. The whole concept and the theory of it has already been made.
I don't
So,
think we're disputing
I don't
that.
think
I
that-
think it's just more of the how
It's a new thing, but
how
if it's-
appropriate is it?
Yeah, I think if it's a safety thing, if it's primarily a safety thing and like how far these images are going, once it's out there, it's kind of out there. You
Yeah,
can't
that's
delete
like
it.
Even
Even if you delete it on your phone or whatever it is,
It's
you can
in the
Google it.
interweb.
It's still in the web. You know, it doesn't really matter. It's out there.
Stop.
So
So any closing remarks, closing thoughts about the interwebs and the children's and the social medias and the 9 to 5s and the entrepreneurship?
Safely secure the bag.
safely
I like
secure
that,
the
safely
bag.
secure
I
the
like
bag.
that one.
I think legitimately secure the bag.
Yeah.
Do what you think is right.
Yeah.
Everybody doesn't have to be an entrepreneur, so don't feel that pressure.
Yeah.
Do what you enjoy. If everyone is an entrepreneur, who is the
Who's gonna
consumer?
work? Yeah.
So there's a balance in everything, You can have a 9 to 5 and you can be highly successful in your 9 to 5, and you can be an entrepreneur and still not be successful, or you can be extremely successful as well. So at the end of the day, you've got to work and you need to eat, and you're not going to eat without
Exactly.
working and making money. So
Yeah.
that's the reality
the
of
end.
it. Don't
As long
tell
as
me
you're
that I'm
making
an
money.
entrepreneur, but bruv, bring me the books and let me see what you're making. Because if you're not making, if you're not making not even 5,000 from your business, bruv, you're not doing
It's
anything.
long. It's true.
You're not doing anything,
It's so
and
long.
you might as well just be unemployed. That's it. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
And on that note,
Thanks for listening to another episode of
And on that note, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. Tell a friend to tell a friend, your aunties, your uncles, your sisters, and the whole shambaz. Thank you.
Bye.